And you?
All right. So, wow.
Are
I
you
see that.
cold?
No, no. It's getting colder.
You've got a jumper and a shirt on.
Yes. It's I'm back to Taiwan and there's no heating usually within the building. So actually it's less warm than when I was in Canada.
Uh,
Okay. So hello, hi boy. Okay. So I think let's start, okay, with the weekly shares at the mastermind, the short team meet. So maybe we can start by sharing some wins. Okay. So I think Poet, would you like to share one on your end? Poet 方便要分享
最近
一个收获吗？这个
最近在看新的软体 Figma，在看怎么用。对，
OK OK Sigma OK OK So 那个是算一个应该说算是做什么的
做页面跟 App 的
？OK OK
Figma。
Sigma OK all right So Poi has been serving Sigma for doing web page and apps. Okay I don't know if Mike knows that.
what's Sigma?
Figma Figma，
Oh Figma
Yeah,
Figma
no.
UI 设计
Figma. Ah,
Figma
right.
Figma。
Okay, yeah, yeah. Sorry, sorry.
Okay
I was
yeah
thinking Six Sigma. You know
no
the process.
Okay. Figma. Okay. So Poi has been learning Figma. Poi actually, she's able to build sites, and has been taking projects, maintaining websites for some people, some clients. So yeah.
Uh-huh.
So I think that's one step forward. All right. So thanks,
Very
Poi.
good.
All right. So Mike, would you like to share some win on your side?
Yeah, I went to coach on
Oh, okay,
Tuesday
nice.
last week. So I had a week down in London, basically, essentially.
Okay,
Monday
okay.
and Friday are pretty much blown out the window because Tuesday I'm traveling, Wednesday I'm doing coach, Thursday I'm focused on catching, kind of reflecting on coach, and then also met with the company accountants on Thursday, and then I travelled home. So it's kind of like
Oh, nice. Okay,
so I have a full week just to go down to London. But anyway, so yeah, it was
okay.
really good.
Nice.
Lots
Well,
more, lots more to delve into with that. But
okay. Is there something you'd like to share? I mean, like what's like the summary learning from coach?
um, there's so they covered on three principal areas,
Mm-hmm.
actually four, but so they talked about scarcity and abundance mindset
Mm.
or thinking, and obviously very much. It's interesting from what you and I have done, Shunyun, with Ben. That's kind of like a very kind of old news to me. But at the same token, I think for a lot of people who walk into coach, then it's not. And even so, it's still an interesting to see their kind of perspective on it. Then they did 80-20. And again, that's not new to either of us.
Mm-hmm.
But what is interesting is their understanding on what that means. Quite
Mm-hmm.
in, and when you think about how you and I operate, it's like the basic principle there is what's 80% for one person is not necessarily 80% for another. And it all depends on the level of
Correct.
detail somebody wants to go into, right? So that
Right.
was really
Sure.
interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And then the two things which were kind of the naming process. They have
Mm-hmm.
a way of naming processes
Mm-hmm.
which actually helps to create that unique process or
Mm-hmm.
unique understanding of what it is that one does as a business, which pulls you away from being a commodity based kind of delivery to something which is very bespoke and unique to your organization, which was really, really interesting. And then something else which we've seen, I think both in AMP, but actually, and I've seen on the MBA program that I did, but it's interesting to see how Coach worked it, and they called it the innovation cycle. So
Okay.
all companies go through a process of, starting, developing, and then going into a status phase, and then they go into decline. And unless they do something in the decline period, then the company just fails. So at what point do you, if you understand that that's the cycle, that's what's going to happen, then at what point do you take action to prepare for your decline period and ready to kind of reboot the organization? And what does that look like, and how does that work, and all that kind of stuff. So there you go. That's the detail.
Hold on a sec. All right. Okay. So thanks. Sorry. My kids are back. Okay. So that's a win for me. And all right. So Debo, I see you can hear us all right? Debo?
Yeah. I
Okay,
can hear
great.
you.
So we're just sharing wins. Would you like to share one on your side? What's one win for you this past week?
Okay.
Or some learning?
The last week, yeah, basically, like I have got a new monitor, like which is of 32 inch. So, like I'm coding in it. So I just found that awesome. I guess that was a very good win.
Okay, all right. You had a hardware upgrade, right? To your
Yeah,
equipment.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
nice.
exactly.
Having upgraded your environment. All right, great. All right.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
I'll share a couple of. Okay, so
Yeah, sure.
one thing has been, well, obviously kids are back for winter vacation now. So that's a win last Saturday. So a lot of the family time, a lot of I think kids talk, playing with them. One thing I kind of really just today, okay, I gave my son a gift, a journal actually, a diary. So he's in the fourth grade. I gave her sister 2 years ago also a journal book. So as a birthday gift. So I think and my daughter already filled several, I think a few afterwards. But that first one is still there, and it's just very I think it's just a really nice moment to look back, kind of like a time machine to look back the last 2 years. So I'm giving this gift for my son today as well. So I think that's something to be cherished, in the future. And just I realized that you only have so many summers with your kids before they're 18, right? So it's I think it's 8 more summers with my daughter and 10 more with my son, I think. All right. So that's one. The other thing is last week, I think there has been a lot of progress of the Flourish project. Last Tuesday, we kicked off a team sync with the architect and also the property manager, Henry, which Mike also met yesterday. I mean, the same day, actually, last Tuesday, I think. And also, yeah, so right now there's going to be a weekly sync. I also talked to Ian about the ICO, potential ICO. And he said that, again, after due diligence, that he has lowered to 2 Ethereum from 3 when we were talking, but Ethereum has gone up. Okay, so right now it's 2 Ethereum. But he hasn't, I'm not yet sure if we passed his due diligence yet, but it was nice to catch up with him and also have a chat. And also I talked to our our lawyer about whether a real estate tokenization would be possible for Taiwan. And he said that, well, if Ian can help other people with tokenization projects, then simply follow the same legal framework that, whatever Ian has been doing for other teams, other projects, that should work for Taiwanese law, basically. Because if it's a international, but then the abiding laws will be either a UK law or a US law, okay? So I guess in short, what he's saying is that because Taiwan doesn't have any kind of existing laws or regulation related to this, as long as it's conforming with some other countries, okay, if it's an international race, then should be all right for the Taiwanese government. Okay, so I think that's also a positive thing. Obviously, we can discuss detail, yeah, but so basically, I am sensing I'm pushing towards a point of no return for this. Right now, it's moving towards a white paper and an ICO race. Okay, so I think that's the win. It's also scary, but yeah, it's happening now. Okay, all right. So today would be like a mastermind part. So I think what we can do is to ask questions. Okay, this is a time to ask questions, raise questions, and to have some collective feedback. Okay, it could be some, I guess, challenge or some issues you like to ask, like to resolve. Okay, so I guess Poet, you have anything you would like to ask or update? Poet here? 大概听得懂吗？还是要用中文讲一下？就是你有没有什么问题要提或者要问的？
我有几个，第一个就是那
OK
个九思 Sarah 的那个3000要周转，
OK
然后再来就是 CS 的比例分配，我已经 Telegram 给你了，
OK 好
再帮我确认。
OK
然后那个 Aaron 那边的客户收入，我15号就已经有给他账号，但是到目前没有消息。虽然在问我说他的分润什么时候给他，
OK
对
I see
然后再来就是 Sarah 说的课程的问题，他又把东西全部丢回来给我，
OK
我这边确定是不做，对，
OK
那看你那边是决定怎么样。
OK all right OK
就
so
这几个。
OK all right 好，那周转那个我这个等一下应该会处理了。OK 这个大家先讲。然后刚才那个 CS 就是分配的部分嘛。OK 这
对，
个
你
我想可能
说照之前的嘛，我大概列了，你再看一
OK
下。
好，这个我可能再 check。好，那我想比较可能要讨论的是OK，so Aaron 那边的话，我觉得直接再跟他确认了。OK，看怎么转。OK，这个我想是一个技术问题。好，那最后是这个 Sarah。OK，all right. So I think Poi has there's a few I think admin stuff, but there's one thing I think maybe worth discussing a bit is okay, so Poet has been handling some of the course admin related to the coaching course previously. Okay, but she felt that she's been spreading a bit too thin because she's also handling company admin and course admin for the coaching course. And recently we had a new member, Sarah, okay, who has joined, who actually worked for Idea9 2 years ago. And she's a trained psychiatrist, actually. Okay, her profession is in psychiatry. So she's now helping with the Chinese AMP thing, which is called Create Freedom, of course. And right now, because Sarah also felt a bit overwhelmed. Okay, so she was kind of ask her maybe she can ask Poi for admin support. But now Poi feels that she doesn't want to touch the course admin stuff. So I guess that the question is how we should handle this. Okay, so I guess any feedback on this from Mike? Basically, people are trying to work within their unique ability, I guess. And I think we're trying to get people to work within their unique ability as much as possible. And right now,
but why are they overwhelmed? If they're working within their, why are they overwhelmed?
Oh, no.
If somebody's working within their unique ability, then they're not overwhelmed. They shouldn't be overwhelmed because that's their unique ability.
Exactly.
So if there is overwhelm, then you've either got people not working in their unique ability. But that's. I'm sorry. Somebody's calling me, and I need to just. I do need to take this, so I'm going to mute.
Okay, sure. All right. Okay. OK，所以刚才 Mike，Poi 刚刚有听懂 Mike 讲的吗？就是还是要我翻译一下。
你翻译一下。
OK，他刚刚的意思就是说，当我们在我们的独特能力里面运作的时候，应该是不会觉得就是不想做了，OK，或者说觉得太多太多这样子，OK，有点有点分身乏术，所以会有这种感觉，大概就表示那个不是我们特别专长或者独特的部分了，这样。
也不
对，
是说分身乏术，就是单纯不想
就
用课程那边的
是，能量会降低嘛？应该说确认一下，
但是
能量会低，
其实
对不对？啊，是不是？
会低落。
嗯，
我把它那时候说交接给 Sarah，然后他现在好像他也不想做的感觉，我不知道他怎么跟你说的。
OK，
对，因为他现在又把那个部分又丢回来给我。
是他也觉得能量会降低了，
他也觉得。
OK, all right.
Sorry.
So don't worry. I'll just explain your answer to Poi. And Poi confirmed, by handling the core stuff, she feels lower energy. Okay, so I guess by definition, that's definitely not unique ability. But also Sarah, when she's handling, because Sarah is actually more on the human side, she has better, I think, observations about, for example, who are the clients, what are they thinking about, right? What's their inner story, inner voice? She's actually good at picking that. But handling some of the, I guess, technicality in terms of the course admin or the running stuff, she also feels she's kind of spread a bit thin and maybe not exactly the most effective way she performs. Yeah, so
So I mean, is it simply just that you've got the wrong people? No, you've got the right people doing the wrong jobs. And in which case, the answer would be for Shun to write an impact statement on each one of the job requirements, and then to thus enable, the appropriate people to do the appropriate tasks.
Okay, all right.
I'm sorry, I've got a customer ringing me now. I've got to keep dropping out because it's a little bit annoying this morning, but I'm sorry.
Okay, all right, no worries. Yeah. So OK，所以 Poi 大概简单说就是Mike 是说我应该要写个影响力筛选器，然后来找适当的人了。看来不是找你，也不是找 Sarah，所以这变成是我的功课。好，大概是这样子。好，那 Poi 这样 OK 吗
OK 啊。
？OK，好呀，OK，好。So Debo，那 Poi 还有别的要讨论的吗？你这边
我报告完了，我先离
，OK，
开。
可以
OK，
，OK，好，
拜拜
感谢，
哦。
好，谢谢，好，take care，好，谢谢。All right, so Debo, yeah, I guess
Yeah.
your turn. Anything you'd like to update or ask on your end?
What was the topic? Like, you guys were speaking Chinese. I couldn't understand.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What was the topic? Like, you guys were
Okay,
speaking in Chinese. I couldn't understand.
okay, so all right, so I was basically you might have heard the English part, right? So this is actually I mean this half an hour, it's meant to a mastermind session. Okay, so we share some wins and also we can ask questions. Okay, to be discussed or to get some feedback from other members. Okay, from within the company. So, Poi was asking about the task that she doesn't feel as much energy to handle. Okay. And yeah, try to assign to another Sarah, but she also doesn't feel like it's within her, I guess, best capability, right?
So I have a question with you.
Okay, go ahead. So what would be your question?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, so as you already know, I am already a tech enthusiast and I really like to explore the fields of tech and stuff. So, what is it that is like currently trending in the market of trend? Like, is it like no code coding, or is it more like something which involves coding? Like, what is the future of developers like us? So, yeah, I
What's
wanted
the
to get
question?
this.
What's the future for developer? you mean
developers like us. Like, is
Okay,
no
okay.
code going to be the future?
Okay, I see. Okay, so you're curious about what would be like the future task work for developers such as yourself, right?
Yeah.
Who has been
Yeah.
working
And
with
also, what is the like recently? What is like the tech which is like seen by entrepreneurs like you guys, which are like who are like really interested in like which tech they're in really interested in. So I wanted to know on the same. Yeah.
Okay, you also want to know what are some interesting tech as seen by
Yeah.
entrepreneurs like us? Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
AI,
okay, go
ML,
ahead. Go ahead, Mike.
AI and ML, just how to implement it into our various different business elements.
Okay.
So that to me is more. That's what I'm interested in. What do I need to do? What is it? How can we implement it? Where can we use it?
Did that answer
Does that
the first question? Is that what you're looking for? AI and ML is machine learning, right? Just to make sure Debo catch the
Yeah.
ML
Yeah.
relates to machine learning, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. So also okay, yeah. So I think Debo also wants to know what is developer's role in the future of the company.
Yeah.
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 Mike, would you like to feedback on that? What do you see as the developer's role in our
Well,
company?
that kind of does depend on how we shape things forward, doesn't it? I mean, I think anybody that's so given that JCF is still, I would say, embryonic in some respects, but there's elements of, as JCF develops, as time goes by, the iteration of what JCF does change, okay, or continue, I should say. So that means then that anything under the kind of the banner of IT does develop and expand. So the role of anybody who is with us today will potentially be very different tomorrow. Obviously, that timeline, I'm using 2 days, but think about a longer time frame, which means then if you're working with us now, where are we going to take you? Where will it develop? What will happen? How will we grow? There is only a future of expansion that we can see. Xunyun and I would not be doing this if we did not expect the future to be bigger, more exciting. And so could I say to you, Debo, that the role of a development person will be you will have to do 50 hours a week on XYZ? No, I can't tell you that at all. What I can tell you is that our expectations of the future will be one of change and excitement, which is why we're involved. It's not really answering your question specifically, but I think it's close enough to the truth, really. Does that make sense?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, thanks. I think, all right, so thanks, Mike. And Debo, I like to also, again, try to answer in concrete and more useful terms for you. Okay, try to see. I always see the future trend for software, okay, as going very bi-directional. And you probably know the wealth inequality, right? That is, the society is going sort of like an M shape, right? You have some really wealthy people and less wealthy, and the wealth disparity is getting larger. I think I believe similar things are happening in software for developers. Okay, if you really look at how the software has been moving, you will see there are people who are building systems and architecture. So I was going to shower and recording. All right, so you actually do see people who are architects, okay, who are developing like really deep stuff. And the likes of people working on, let's say, open AI, right, on ChatGPT, right, and on the architecting these foundational technologies. And I think on the other hand, you're going to see programming coding becomes easier and easier. Okay, so in other words, it's going to be like the no code and low code and the Booty base I share with you guys, right? I mean, that's going to allow people previously not programmers, like let's say accountants, lawyers, architects, to be able to actually build systems, right? Without requiring actually a developer to do so. I can share with you, I have friends who are actually building websites and apps now, and they're not coders before. Okay, because the tools has gotten easier, you see. Okay, so I guess what that means is that the developers in the middle, okay, they're going to be gone, basically. It's going to be really high-end, sophisticated platform engine architect type of developer, and lots of people who are just doing, systems that are traditionally not developers. And so I think you have to become either a foundational architect or a domain expert, right? That you really are, for example, fintech, crypto, block, or one aspect of a domain. That is something I see as being a developer. That's the really two directions you want to, you're going to end up being one of them and become an expert, but everybody in between are going to disappear. Okay, that's what I'm saying. And the other thing sort of echo what Mike was saying. I'm pretty sure, I think, Devil, you also sense a bit that, like what you have doing with us has changed, right? A few different things. And that's, I think that's actually going to be the norm, because as we adjust and adapt to the environment, right, and the environment is shifting a lot, and also 10x growth actually requires us to always cut off our existing 80% and focusing on the 20% best, right? But that is going to shift and evolve with time. So I guess what I'm trying to say is very similar to Mike's earlier comment that big change are to be expected. Okay. Yeah, but if you are able to learn quickly, right, adjust, adapt quickly, and then focus on your best part, then probably you are going to have a great time with us. Okay, but otherwise, we might only be able to work together for the time being, for short periods. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I hope that helps. Okay, I hope that helps somewhat.
Yeah.
All right. So okay. So I guess we're at time. Okay. So that concludes the
I'd be
master.
interested to hear what Debo thinks about
Okay. Yeah. All right.
we
Sure.
both said.
We can. Yeah.
actually.
Okay. Go ahead. Debo, what do you think, and what is your feedback or further? Yeah. What do you think about what you just heard?
Okay. From that POV, for the future of developers, I guess it's more like backend developers won't be like easily that much replaceable because you need to have functionality, right? And which you need to think, and we need to which you need to be like an like provide with a solution of the upcoming problem that is being faced by you. So as you already mentioned, an architect will be like an architect will be yeah. Just give me a second. Yeah, and backend developer is more like an architect, right? He is more like uh, giving you the solution to the problem and designing the whole thing by himself and writing the logic. So I don't think that will be no code like that can be like easily replaceable. That can't be like done by an AI or someone like that can be given by an AI, but of course, but it's like not that. You need to understand the logic behind it, right? To like edit it. So if you want something to be like according to you, I guess it's like backend developer and system architect. Yeah, as you already mentioned, those are like someone who are like literally the coders. I think.
Is that okay, Mike? Because I think Devil's
Yeah,
voice.
I just wanted to
Okay,
what he
okay.
wanted to, what his feedback was.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Thanks. All right, good. All right, so I think we'll move to the next part then. Okay, and I do know that Debo has a question. He actually asked last week about what's the maybe this is worth to discuss a bit. Debo would like to have I think a paid salary position. Okay, moving I guess regularly. Okay on monthly. Because I told Debo about I actually want to work with partners from now on. Okay, and actually anyone between. So this is something I haven't discussed. I think maybe it's time to discuss with Mike. Yeah, so I don't have an answer now, and Mike, okay, so my thinking actually has been that I mean, still the same. Okay, Debo, which is if you desire a regular salary, okay, which is perfectly understandable, okay, but that would uh, probably entail you to work with a more manager person, okay.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
right, and I guess that's yeah, that basically means that would not be me, okay, for I think for the
Yeah.
time
Yeah.
forward. And we
Yeah.
want
Sure.
to find that person, okay? We want to make sure, okay? So I think that's a discussion maybe Mike and I will have, okay? Yeah,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah. Good.
So, Debo, would that be all right for now? And by the way, I
Yeah.
sent you 100. Okay, you can check your crypto
Yeah.
account. Okay, I think
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
yeah. Make sure everything's all right. Okay. So yeah, I
Yeah.
do apologize for the delay. It's being a bit, and also that's not the best thing I'm good at. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
all right. So Debo, would that be all right for now?
Yeah. Yeah. Good.
Okay, all right, okay, all right. I think Mike and I will have a discussion and we'll let you know, okay, about what we think, okay?
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
All right, okay, all right. So yeah, so but take care, okay? And for now,
Yeah.
all right? Okay, yeah, all right, take
Okay.
care. Yeah.
Also, I
Mhm.
wanted to inform you regarding the platform in which we are talking. Like, is it more like Telegram or Slack or something like that, where we can talk on like a regular basis, where I can expect replies from you?
Oh, okay.
Is it more like
I, okay, so I think we'll share that in the I think in the Slack, okay? That would be
yeah? Sure.
yeah, Telegram usually will be quicker messages. Okay, something that's
Okay.
that's time sensitive. All right. Yeah, but I think I'll share that
Yeah.
with you on Slack. Okay, because that's kind of more permanent. Okay. Usually
Yeah.
things if we
Okay.
want to trace back, we will put in
Mm,
Slack. Okay.
okay. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So thanks. All right. So thanks, Debo. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yes.
talk.
So I will
Yeah.
get the updates on Slack regarding like next week, how to join, where to join, and who is my manager and stuff.
Right, right. I think we'll have that ready. Okay. I mean, Mike and I will have a
Okay.
discussion. Okay. All right.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Yeah. Take care. Yeah. Bye bye. Bye bye.
Yeah. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Bye.
All right. So, shall we start another, I guess, recording, or you think it's fine with the?
Up to you. I don't mind.
Okay.
Turn it off and on again if you want. I don't mind.
All right, okay. So that's okay. That we can, I guess we'll just continue then. All right. Okay.
Yep.
So okay, so Mike, anything you'd like to discuss? Well, one thing I think about Devo is I guess I'll just share this. Devo has been doing, I think, some really good work in terms of responsive, okay, to some requirements. Although I guess right now for me, it's really about yeah. I don't feel like moving forward. I there's like managing people. I think this is not something I feel right now I can, adequately do, right? And moving to this year. So yeah, I guess this is something I have been thinking about to, really just work with partners, okay, who can work at a partner level, um, between me and someone who might require some guidance and management, then probably I want to find someone in between. Okay, so this is just on my end. The other thing is, it might also mean more directly doing things, such as like booty-based stuff, right? So, I guess, yeah, okay. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, to work with Devo, or like developers like that moving forward, um, might want to find someone to, to to work directly with him. Okay, or well, have to stop for now.
Well, is there a need for him?
So, well, depends on the okay. I feel we have needs for development requirements, but probably we want someone who's more experienced, okay, for the time being. Yeah. We do have, certain developments that we might want to do, but
Might want to do or need to do? What development needs are there?
okay. I think all right, so I think this goes back to, well, the development need would be things like well, okay, so I guess it's on the wealth side of things. Okay, the project. All right, so if the idea is just to continue the current main fund, right, and also focus on I think on the funnel marketing part, then right. Then I think we can probably still continue use the current system with minimum modification, right? I think that so some of the needs or some of the things we already experience has been, for example, make sure that the system still works, right? More or less with the current state, and have someone to fix issues once they arise, because in the past, for example, in the last 6 months or so, at different times, there has been like system was down, for example, and it took a while to actually get it back on. I think minor things that would require fixing. Yep. But
What do you mean the
right.
system was down?
Oh, so the system, for example, the my.jcf.world, I think after certain inquiries, or I don't know, maybe API calls to Binance wasn't working. It just crashed and wasn't back down. And that requires a manual effort, right? So I mean, things like that. that will probably require some fixing, right? And basically, I guess it was Sunny and then Josh, right? But
Mhm.
they haven't been, I guess, as responsive to that. So this is something, right? And someone like Debo could help. Debo, I would say he's comparatively responsive because he's actually eager to find and to work on things. Yes. Though I think right now he does lack a bit of I guess working knowledge to how the current system works, which will take some time to pick up. Yeah, but in terms of capability, I think he's definitely capable to do that, because it's just some technical stuff, with time. But again, it's going to take some time for him to pick up and before maybe things can run smoothly.
Okay, so there was an occasion in the last 6 months where the system wasn't working.
That could, well, some bug exist, which we don't know what's causing it, requires some diagnostic. Okay. And a developer like Debo, for example, potentially could spend
So
time to
that
look
whole
into that.
so that whole bug about the one that I was experiencing where you couldn't log on, has that been resolved?
To my knowledge, that should be resolved now. Okay. I mean, if you try that, you should be able to get
Well,
back because, right.
we only really know when somebody new tries to sign on, isn't it?
Right, exactly, yes. And someone with for example, a new account to get onto that, right? And I think there are still some, some temporary issue. Well, I mean that is just something we don't know. Yeah. Well, okay, so this is my sense. Okay, being if I were to speak about the technical stuff underneath, I would say the issues are not major. Okay, there are likely some minor issues, such as, that maybe the API has changed some interface. The symbols of Binance has changed, for some cryptos, so that when we try to use old symbols, it just doesn't work. And system wasn't as robust, to, I guess, to protect against those things, but which would be relatively small fix. Okay. I don't think any structural foundational because the system actually has been working for a while, right? And so I don't think it's anything structurally, that's kind of like that requires like major revision. Okay. However, it would be those minor maintenance kind of things that would require fixing or debugging time and time, from time to time. I think that's the kind of the nature that we are dealing with.
But
At
again,
this
so
point. Yeah.
okay, so is there clarity on what is required from a maintenance perspective? And with that clarity is included the knowledge of how much time would be spent doing that. So is it an hour a week or 2 hours a week or 15 hours a week? I mean, given that it's been operational since 2018, what instinctively or analytically can you say is a definite requirement?
Okay, so I would say it's to make sure all the basic operation, for example, signing up for accounts, right? And able to see your balance and do investment, do withdrawal, and how that works, right? And also, for example, the rebalancing, the backend rebalancing will work. Okay, with the push of a button, we can enter exit position, right? To Binance, for example, or with the exchange. Just basic operations will function. And I would say it's, no more probably two hours. If everything works, then it's just a couple of hours, less than a couple of hours a week to actually. It's mostly when things are not working, right? Then that will probably take some time to dive into and fix. But with
Okay.
someone who's
So with
familiar,
Debo in
I think
particular,
that's right. Go ahead.
for Debo in particular, then he's got he wants a full-time job, doesn't he? He wants a salaried position.
Okay.
So
But
does that
the salary he's
does that
taking,
mean
not a full time. He wants a regular, but not necessarily full time. He is actually asking $100 US a month for a maintenance kind of work, maintenance level work. I think that's
okay?
he's happy to do to basically take that and spend maybe let's say 10 hours a month on things and can work additionally for let's say 10 hours per hour, 10 bucks per hour. I think that's something that would probably he'll be happy to accept. I think that's the
Okay.
right.
Well, can JCF afford it?
Can JCL afford it? Well, I would say that's doable financially. Okay.
What, from
But
JCF?
From JCF Taiwan, yes, right. If it's that amount, okay. Right now, I do have some issues regarding, I guess, time-wise, and because we have been paying him with crypto, and okay, but time-wise, he requires some guidance. That's one of the issues. I think that's yeah, and I think right now that knowledge is being, it's been with Sunny and also to some degree Josh. Okay, I think that's they actually have been super busy. That's the other thing. We are not able to afford them, I guess, enough pay now to for them to devote, right, on this on I guess a more regular basis. I think they're willing to help, but basically other priorities right now just occupy their time or attention, right? So it becomes less predictable in terms of how they can spend time to fix some things, which is the case where Debo could be desirable, because it's a classic issue of Debo has more time, but less know-how knowledge, whereas the people with better knowledge, know-how, less time. I think that's
Right.
That's kind of the current situation. Yeah.
So what's the dilemma?
The dilemma is well, between Debo and I guess Josh, Sunny, a manager is required.
What do you mean by a
And
manager is required?
I mean someone who can coordinate, who can help, and I guess smooth out, I guess, the things and make sure.
But Devo, I mean, sorry. So you're suggesting then that Devo is the only one that's paid a salary, and is the only one that's willing to dedicate an amount of time for that salary. That Josh and
At this
Sunny
point,
will look at things as and when they have time. So there's no management involved with Josh and Sunny because they're not there to be managed. What they're doing is that they'll lend a hand if it's convenient for them, if it's of any value, if they feel like they can. So you're not managing them. That's you're begging them for favors. You're only managing Devo, and by the sounds of it, Devo's management is more about mentorship technically. Now, if you want to have somebody
correct, yes.
If somebody who's more experienced and more competent than Devo is to be there managing his time, making sure that he's going in the right direction, well then that sounds like you've got a Sunny or a Josh there, but you're going to have the same problem, that you're going to need somebody who's willing to take time out or be paid money to manage somebody who's low paid. It's a circular conversation if you're going to want a who to do the work.
Right.
So to pay the guy $100 a month, you're going to need to employ somebody else who's going to want, I don't know, $300 a month to manage the guy who's paying for $100 a month. To save you what is essentially, I don't know how much time it's going to take you per month to manage Devo, for instance. No point handing him over to me, because the whole point about it is that it's somebody who's got some technical competence. Technical competence or understanding is not what I have.
Right, true.
Just to time manage somebody. Have you done the task? Yes or no? Why haven't you done the task? Well, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to answer this question. Have you asked so-and-so? Yes, I have. What did they say? They haven't responded. That, that's, again, that doesn't take much, but it doesn't help solve the problem. And the problem being is that you've got somebody that you want, who you can afford, is not competent enough to do the work that you want to have done, and therefore needs
Guidance.
a type of management.
Right.
And what you gain with that is, you're teaching the inexperienced, so the inexperienced tend to have a certain level of loyalty to those who teach them the most, and that loyalty can be leveraged.
Right. Sorry, I didn't get that last part. The voice was cut off a bit.
For those people that you teach, they tend to have loyalty towards the teacher.
Okay.
Right. So in a workplace, when you take someone who doesn't know what they're doing and you help train them up, then they tend to have a level of loyalty for those that train them.
Right. True. Right.
Now, that's true in some respects more than others, and it does depend on the profile of the person.
Right. Exactly.
And if the person, isn't honourable, then they won't honour it. But you don't know that until you start dealing with it, right?
Right. Until you get into that relation, yeah.
But I think if you're looking to extricate yourself from managing Devo, well, you're going to have to put somebody in place that can manage him, and that's going to cost you more money.
Sure. Right. Right. So,
because what your challenge with him is not a time issue. It's not a desire issue. It's not a implementation issue. It's a knowledge base issue.
Right. That's right. Yeah. So, okay. I guess the what would you suggest then? I mean, in this case.
Well,
but okay, in some sense, it's also related to money, right? Yeah, it also relates to. I mean, it can be a time issue, it can be a knowledge issue, and it can also be a money issue. For example.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you will need to sit there and pay Sonny $500 a month just to do some maintenance, well, then that's probably two birds with one stone. Because you don't have to manage Sonny, you just have to tell him what to do and he'll get on with it.
Right.
The only reason why he's no longer interested is because he gets paid money to go and spend the same amount of time doing something for somebody else.
Right. Okay.
Fundamentally, that's my understanding of the situation. Tell me if I'm wrong.
No, you're right. I mean, right now there's a pay job, right, that demands more of his attention, basically. Yeah. And for example,
and the reason why he's walked away from Josh and Sonny and all the other guys have walked away from JCF because they're not seeing the growth in return that they had anticipated when they first started.
Right.
And this will happen again and again and again, whilst JCF is not actually producing anything.
Right.
Now, it would be very different if you could sit there and say JCF has grown by X amount, give whatever that number is,
Right.
And then, you know, our team tokens are worth this much. Last year, they were worth less. And next year, they're going to be worth more. You'd soon have people queuing up to do the work.
Right.
Because it's just natural that they would, you know, want to.
In fact, one can argue Debo is one of those people who's wanting to queue up to work for JCF in a sense.
Yeah, at the moment, because he doesn't know.
He doesn't know?
He hasn't got the history.
Right.
You know,
right,
but if you stay on the same trajectory, he'll end up walking away.
Right.
Because that's happened
Okay.
in the time that I've been with you, that's happened twice. And Blue Tea was there at the beginning, right? So
right. Blue Tea has been he's been very occupied. But he's right.
So I think, you know, the thing is, you fundamentally, this boils down to your time, like what you do with your time. And you got to think about whether or not, you know, what it is that you want to have done and how valuable your time is. And then whether or not you want to pay somebody else to do the work for you. Because at the moment, I don't see JCF as actually generating any revenues, and therefore it doesn't. It can't pay anybody a salary because it's not making any profit.
Exactly. Correct.
And therefore it's not a business. It's just an idea that's kind of stagnating.
Right.
And in that, you know, you're you know, if you look at I'm surprised. So you're theoretically two or one iteration ahead of me, at least, maybe two, right? With Coach. So you would theoretically, you would have gone through the innovation cycle already. And therefore, where do you think JCF is? Huh? Where is JCF on that cycle?
The innovation cycle. Okay.
Oh, hold on a second. Let me just turn the background off.
Okay.
If I turn the background off, that will make a lot more sense. How do I turn the background? So I FaceTime, choose blur background, choose virtual background, choose none.
Okay. I can see better. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Let's go. I'm trying to get rid of something on my screen now. Okay, fine. Right.
Okay. Right.
Right.
All right. Okay. Right.
So obviously, somewhere in this cycle here is JCF, right?
Right.
But where is it?
Okay.
And indeed, you know, you can have components of JCF in different cycles.
I see.
So perhaps, you know, marketing might have a different stage in the cycle.
Okay.
Development at different stage in the cycle.
Right. Okay.
The fund itself a different stage in the cycle. Right.
Okay.
The management team a different stage in the cycle.
Okay.
Right. The company as a whole in the stage of the cycle.
Okay.
So all of these different areas, you know, will be a part of that. So if you've been through this on the course.
No, I haven't.
Then,
that looks foreign to me, actually. Okay.
Well, I don't know what course you're on then.
The three
because you're meant to be.
No, I'm in the second year. I think I'm only a few months ahead of you. I think, yeah. I'm in the second year.
Well,
yeah. If
you're in the second year and you're two kind of cycles ahead of me, I think. If I remember.
Okay. Oh, okay. 2 workshops, right? You're talking about 2 workshops. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So theoretically, you should have done this. If I've done it and I'm 2 behind you, then why haven't you done
it? It's possible because I actually attended some of the physical workshops that in-person workshop that has a different, you know, that's going.
Yeah, but when we did that, and I went to and you and I went to the one in Coach, sorry, in Toronto, right?
Right.
Then I knew what I was missing,
Okay. All right.
and I had the opportunity to go over that with Rebecca.
I see. Okay. All right. So anyway, to answer your question, I think, the I don't think we have gone to the growth stage yet. Okay. Or maybe different aspects. Okay. So overall wise, the company wise, I don't think we have been to the growth stage yet. The fund itself, I guess the fund model, okay, the basic model of the fund, that's probably past the growth stage. Yeah, but I guess the marketing aspects is still, again, at the embryonic, not at the growth stage, the marketing part. I think we experienced some growth during the scaling from the 10 to the 100, the 100 people stage, where basically was Robert, the previous CIO, who talked to people, right, in BNI, like one by one. He did a lot of one-to-one, basically. He did that for, I think, probably a year to onboard people at different times, different incentives. But that onboarding approach required basically human effort, right? You have to talk to people and I guess keep doing that. And that kind of stopped, when we
Let me just answer my wife. Let me just
okay,
please.
sure.
Just let me just.
Yeah, sure.
Honey, hello. Yeah, I'm on a call. Yeah, I'm on a call. That's okay. Do you need me? No.
All right. So yeah, Mike. So you have to go.
Sorry, dude. Yeah, sorry. Last night I made some salted caramel popcorn, which was very tasty. But it cracked one of my crowns. It broke a half a crown off my tooth.
Oh wow. Okay.
So
all right.
I have to go to I have to sort out some dental work basically.
Okay, sure. Yeah. All right. So yeah, Mike, really appreciate it. I think to conclude, yeah, I definitely see that there's a lot of issues on my end that requires sorting out. And
I don't think it's issues, Shunyun, at all. I don't think that's the right word.
Oh, okay. All right. Challenge, right? Challenge. It's growth challenges.
I think you just need to decide what you want to do and where you want to focus your time and your effort.
Right. Yes. Right.
Because all of these projects will require, commitment. They're not, the projects that you've got aren't just kind of like, you need to be on board for each one of them.
Right. True. Yeah. Right now, I'm very much on board with the coaching stuff. Yeah, that's yeah.
Well, then all the other things. If you want that to be a success, right, then all the other stuff or not at all.
The what?
If you want to have that as a success, then all the other stuff that you're doing will not take a priority, and you just need to be honest about it.
Yes, that's true. Yes.
Because it's a waste. It's wasting people's time. And people that's why people walk away. Because they get fed up with being, it's a nice idea, but nothing ever happens.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I guess that's the tough thing for now. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I guess regarding Debo, maybe we should, just basically we'll have to let him know for the time being, we probably cannot hire him, right? Because right now there's no guidance and there's no, I guess, priority on that part, right?
I mean,
So,
yeah, I mean, you can just tell him that at the moment the situation is that we don't require, we can't, you know, we don't require a full-time, you know, a permanent salaried member of staff, even a minimum amount of hours. It just doesn't.
Right.
It's just not necessary. You know, if we could give him more hours, or if we felt there were more hours, we felt, you know, then that may be a different thing.
Okay. All right. Okay. So yeah, so just curious about I guess the funnel, you know, any update on your part? I think the domain has
No, well,
been
look,
fixed.
last week I was just totally focused on
The
coach
coach stuff,
so I just
right?
went.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
and basically I
That's
was
good.
3 days out of the office, so I had to spend the rest of the time on
Okay.
income sec.
Yeah, I think the domain's been fixed. Also, I'll let you know because we actually have been doing domain attached to the ClickFunnels, okay, for the coaching stuff. So I know it works. Okay, yeah. So for example, right now the domain create.idea9.cc that actually points directly to the ClickFunnels pages, you know. Like there, so I think the JCF domain has also been, if you type biz, right, biz.jcf.world, that right now points directly to the ClickFunnels, which you have access to update or change however way you like it. Okay. Right now it's just a template. So that's been fixed, you know, that's yeah. So all right. I guess that's a positive news. It's a progress.
Okay, cool.
All right, so maybe talk to you next week then, okay? And yeah, all right. So appreciate it very much for the diagnostic. This is very much appreciated. Yeah, have to face the hard truth, right?
Whatever that is.
Okay. All right.
I am.
All right. So take care and hope your
All right.
tooth gets well next time to see you.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure it will be.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
Take care.
All right. Take
See you then.
care. Have a fantastic
Bye.
week.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Bye.
Take care.
And you,
Bye
bye.
bye. Yeah.